In this video, we'll show you the Logistics Statistics section. You can find it in the Statistics mod. This section gives you a clear view of the logistics process, that is, the delivery of your orders. The statistics are based on logistics statuses. Let's see what that means. Go to the Order tab and open the orders list. For an order to appear in the logistics statistics, this column must contain the following information: the courier service name, the logistics status, the tracking number, and the shipping date. If all of this information is available, the order will be included in the statistics. This feature works only if you use logistics plugins. In other words, you send orders to courier services through Sales Render plugins and receive tracking directly in the CRM. It's important not to confuse logistics statuses with order statuses. Let's move to the next tab. Here you can see your order statuses. These are your own custom statuses. You decide their names, colors, and workflow, and they don't necessarily have anything to do with logistics or courier services. Logistics statuses, on the other hand, are system statuses used exclusively for logistics. That is, to track the delivery of an order from your company to the customer. There is a predefined list of these statuses, and we'll go through each of them in this video. Let's take a closer look at the logistics status statistics. First, let's look at the basic structure of this table. Like our other statistic reports, it's grouped by date by default. This statistic is grouped by shipping date. Each row represents the date when the orders were shipped, and reminder here is where the shipping date is recorded. Across the top, you'll see the status columns. These are all system logistics statuses. The list of statuses is fixed and predefined. Let's open the settings to see the complete list, then expand one of the statuses to check what we have. Now let's go through each logistics status. Unregistered. This means the shipment has been removed from the courier's records, usually because it was lost or destroyed by the courier service. Created. A shipping airway bill has been created, but the order has not yet been submitted to the courier service. Registered. The courier service has received the order information and registered it in its system. Accepted. The courier service has accepted the shipment for processing. This means the package has been physically handed over to the courier service. Packed. The shipment has been packed for delivery. This status is used only if the courier service provides packing or labeling services and reports that the shipment has been packed in transit. This is the most common status. It means the shipment has left the acceptance point and it's on its way to the destination. Arrived. The shipment has arrived at the post office or pickup point and is ready for the customer to collect. On delivery. The shipment has been assigned to a courier for delivery. This status is typically used for courier deliveries and shouldn't be used for shipment collected from a post office or pickup point. Pending. This means the shipment has been returned after an unsuccessful delivery attempt and is now being held as a courier's facility. It's important not to confuse this with arrived. Arrived means the shipment has reached the pickup location for the first time. Pending means a delivery attempt has already been made, but the courier was unable to deliver the package, so it has been returned for storage. Delivered. The shipment has been successfully delivered to the recipient. Paid. This status confirms that a cash-on-delivery (COD) payment has been received. Returned. The shipment could not be delivered and will be returned to the sender for one of several possible reasons. Returning to sender. The shipment is currently on its way back to the sender. Delivered to sender. The shipment has completed its return journey and has been successfully delivered back to the sender. And finally, unknown status. This status appears when we receive a status from the courier service that cannot be recognized. If this happens, you will see it in the statistics and you can contact our support team so we can update the status mapping. Also, notice this arrow button in every cell. When you click it, a new browser tab opens with a list of orders included in that particular cell. For example, if we click here, the new tab will show all 54 delivered orders. A common question from customers is how we convert the different statuses used by courier services into our list of logistics statuses. The answer is status mapping. When we integrate a courier service, we create a mapping between our standard logistics statuses and the courier's own status list. At the same time, we always preserve and display the original courier status in the tracking history. Let's look at an example. Open the tracking history for a specific order by clicking its tracking number. Here you will see the complete tracking timeline. Notice that the bold entries are our logistics statuses, while the entries below them are the original statuses returned by the courier service. This means the courier plugin contains a mapping rule. For example, whenever we receive the courier status packaging, goods packaged and ready for shipment, we map it to our logistics status packed. A few hours later, the courier service sends another status update sent for distribution, order in transit to the distribution center, and we map it to our status in transit. The courier service sends us a status en route, and we automatically map it to our status on delivery. We can also get additional information from the courier service through the API, such as the current location of the shipment and any additional details provided together with the original tracking status. How to configure the logistics statistics? The configuration process is the same as for all of our other statistics reports. The Settings button is located in the top right corner. You can customize the report, save your configuration as a template, and quickly apply it whenever you need. Let's configure the report together. Most users first want to add a sent column to see how many orders were shipped on each date. Next, it makes sense to add the in-transit column, since it represents orders that are still on their way. Within this column, you can include not only the in-transit status, but also registered, accepted, packed. Of course, you can also keep these statuses in separate columns if you want to identify orders that are getting stuck at a particular stage. The important thing is that multiple statuses can be grouped into a single column. This isn't always necessary, but it's a very useful option. After in transit, let's add the arrived column. This shows how many orders have already reached a post office or pickup point. At this stage, many businesses send SMS notification to inform customers that their order is ready for collection. Next, we'll add the on-delivery column. This is mainly relevant for courier deliveries, where a courier is taking the package directly to the customer. So now we can see how many orders were sent, how many are still in transit, how many are arrived, and how many are currently on delivery. The next useful column is pending. This status usually indicates a problem. The courier attempted to deliver the package but was unsuccessful, so the shipment was returned to the courier's facility and another delivery attempt will usually be made later. Courier services typically include the reason for the failed delivery attempt in the tracking history. This gives you a great opportunity to contact the customer and arrange a successful delivery. Next column is delivered. You can combine the delivered and paid statuses together into the same column if you wish, although this is entirely optional. If cash on delivery payments are important to your business, you may prefer to keep the paid columns separate. Next is the return column. This status indicates that the customer will not receive the order and that it will be returned. There are also the statuses returning to sender and delivered to sender. You can display each of these stages in separate columns if you want to track the return process in detail. However, in most cases, it's sufficient to combine all return-related statuses into a single return column. So you can delete this one and this one. In our example, you don't need separate registered column because it's included in transit column. Finally, let's create an unknown column and include the unknown status. We strongly recommend keeping this column so you can easily identify any courier statuses that haven't yet been included in the mapping. Now let's collapse all of the columns and save our changes. Everything we have configured so far defines the logic of the report. Also, pay attention to the sub-columns. In this example, only quantity and percent are displayed. However, for some columns you will probably also want to show summarized amount and average order value. Finally, notice that you can choose how percentages are calculated. For example, in the paid column, you may want to know what percentage of delivered orders have been paid rather than what percentage of sent orders have been paid. Simply click this option to change the percentage calculation from sent to delivered. These settings are also saved as part of your template. Now let's look at the available filters and grouping options in these statistics. The most basic setting is the date range. You can select any period and group the data by days, months, years. Another important option is the date type used for the report. At the beginning of this video, we mentioned that the report is grouped by shipping date by default. However, you can also switch the grouping to order creation date. Let's look at the difference. With the default shipping date grouping, this report shows that 137 orders were shipped on July 8. If you switch to order creation date, the report changed slightly. Each row will show how many orders created on that date were eventually shipped. For example, if an order was created on July 8 but shipped on July 9, it will appear under July 8. We generally recommend using shipping date as it makes more sense for logistics analysis. Next, you will see the courier service filter. You can exclude any courier services you are not interested in and analyze the remaining ones separately. There are also several grouping options. The most useful are by users to compare delivery performance across your employees, by webmasters to analyze the quality of traffic from different partners, by logistics plugin to compare the performance of different courier services. With this grouping, each row in the report represents a different courier service. How we recommend using this report? We recommend checking a period that ends at least 10 days before the current date. This gives the courier service enough time to deliver most shipments, making the statistics much more meaningful. Start by checking in transit column. If there are still many orders there, some shipments may be stuck, for example, at the packing stage. Next, check the arrived column. These customers should be contacted and reminded to collect their orders. If some orders have remained on delivery for an unusually long time, and it's unlikely that the courier is still attempting delivery, it's worth contacting the courier service to investigate. Orders in the pending column should also be reviewed manually. This status usually indicates a failed delivery attempt, so reaching out to the customer can often help complete the delivery successfully. The delivered, paid, and returned columns are useful for spotting unusual spikes or drops in performance on specific days. Finally, if you see any orders in the unknown column, please contact our support team so we can update the status mapping. If you have any questions, feel free to contact our support team. We will be happy to help.